This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Hey, great friends. What's happening? This is Kaplan and Crew on Wednesday afternoon. Today is November 2nd, and we are coming to you from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com. Want to say what's going on this afternoon to all of our 1090 radio listeners tuning in San Diego, Orange County, LA, the Central Coast, and beyond. Glad to have everybody here on radio. For all of you that listen on 1090, we're only on for an hour today because yet again, we're going to hand off to the World Series. And man, I loved seeing the Phillies last night crush the Houston Astros 7-zip and hitting bombs. And rooting for the Phillies to win this World Series. Actually got in my car last night and tuned in on 1090 to ESPN's presentation of the World Series. And if you flip around to other sports stations in particular, whether it's in LA or San Diego, you know, you're hearing like the overnight, like network radio stuff. I think we made the right choice. I know it's been taking us off the air a little bit, but I think we made the right choice of putting the World Series on the radio. So to everybody who's listening on 1090, shout out to you guys. Everybody who's watching on YouTube, right? Everybody who's watching on YouTube. The YouTube chat yesterday was on fire. And all the new audience that we built during the Padres playoff run is consistently coming back to us. I remind everybody, hit that subscribe button on YouTube because we're trying to build our YouTube base, trying to get it up to 7,500 subscribers by the end of the year, which is pretty modest, frankly. So help out and get involved in the YouTube chat. Everybody on all the different audio podcast platforms, happy you guys are here. And tonight, yes, we are on television. Channel 4 San Diego is our home base, part of the Cox Yorview Network. All right, guys, we only have an hour, so I want to just jump right in. It's Wednesday afternoon. Grande, you are getting married on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling today, Wednesday, with just a few more days to go? How you doing, big guy?
Same as yesterday. Same as I'll feel tomorrow. I'm ready. I've been engaged for 3 years. I think I've planned 3 different weddings because of COVID. I have no nerves. I asked Mara if she's getting any cold feet because she was like asking me some funny stuff the other day. She's like no. No, I don't. Nothing specific that I can like off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
But she was just asking me things, and I was like, "What? You getting cold feet or what?" And she's like, "No, not even a little bit." I was like, "Dude, we've been together 8 years, been engaged 3 years. If she runs off on me at the altar, that'd be hilarious." So I'm ready.
And it would lead to a better party.
Dude, I gotta tell you, like, if she runs off at the altar, none of her family's invited, and we're all going to Garibaldi's, and we are taking down the 3 kegs that I have coming that day. For sure. But no, dude, I'm honestly, like, all jokes aside, I'm very just ready. I'm sure Sunday I'll get some nerves and I'll feel it a little more. But as of today, I feel the same. I feel fine. I don't get nervous for that stuff, dude. I don't know why. Like, I got more nervous leading up to the 4 weddings that I had to marry the people, where I was the ordained minister or whatever, because I didn't want to mess it up. On this one, I told my buddy, I was like, "Hey, don't mess it up." Like, it's not on me. I just got to stand there and look pretty. So I'm good to go.
Well, you are pretty, especially now that you're down 15 pounds thanks to iThrive. You're looking very pretty. Browner, you have any nerves going into Grande's wedding on Sunday?
What I got to be nervous for?
I mean, this is our boy, dude.
No, man, listen, he right. He been with her long enough to know. If something was underneath somewhere, he'd have found it by now.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are asking me questions. Like, me and her have only been together for like 2 years. You know?
Right. Those are the marriages you got to be worried about. We've been together. So typically, I would be worried if they had been together for a little over a year and a half, 2 years. They just started living together 6 months ago. That would worry me. There's too much unknown in there. But they've been together long enough. They know each other's warts. You know, they smelled each other's farts. It's all good.
Yeah. We been together 8 years. We have gone through 2 moves together.
Right.
We traveled
a lot.
Traveled together.
Long car rides.
We got a dog.
Got an animal?
We all the in-laws get along lovely. They're like the same woman. It's incredible. Her mom and my mom are like the same person. It is if there ain't nothing if she's got secrets, she's a damn good hider, and props to her if she is, you know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Yeah, last night I was saying to my 16-year-old daughter, who's going to turn 16 tomorrow, actually. I said, well, hey, listen, on Sunday, because she got her final driving lesson coming up on Sunday, and then thank goodness, Monday, November 14th, already booked early morning, Poway. Got to go to the DMV early that morning and go get this child a driver's license. But I said, yeah, hey, Sunday, I'm not going to be around because I'm going to Alex's wedding. And she said, Alex is getting married? And I said, yeah, this Sunday. And she said, I didn't even know he was dating anybody, as if like she would be up on your social
On my
life,
social life, yeah.
Right. And I said to her, I said, well, he and his fiance Mar have been living together for quite a while. In fact, they even bought a condominium together. And she said to me, how did they meet? And I thought, well, wait, you're 16 and they've been together for like half your life,
Funny you say it that way, yes.
Yeah. And then as she asked me, how did they meet? I thought, I don't really exactly remember, but I kind of feel like maybe we were doing a radio remote way back in the day at like, I don't know, on the border, like one of those like, chain like Mexican restaurant type things for like a Monday night football game or a Thursday night football game. And I feel like, check me on this. Did you guys meet through the radio show and through us doing a remote somewhere?
Yep. She was, remember Thursday night football we used to go to On the Border?
Mm-hmm. The one in Mission Valley.
The
We
one
used
in
to go
Mission
to all the
Valley.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, with Dave, and we were there every single Thursday.
Yeah.
And at the time, this is 2014, we already got rid of engineers. Like the radio station didn't shut down until 2019, but it was a slow burn. So I was forced to learn to be an engineer. This is I think in 2014 was the first time we switched to internet access. So I had to like go in their outside and like climb up and plug into some router on the roof.
Yep.
Over
the salsa machine, over the soda machine.
Over the soda. I would climb on the soda machine to plug in.
Yeah.
She was the
It's ridiculous.
She was the hostess there.
Wait, Browner, ridiculous?
Ridiculous,
hey, let's take the producer of the radio show. Let's fire the engineering because we barely have enough money to hang on. Let's get Alex and John to climb up on the roof of On the Border and plug an Ethernet cable into the router.
I don't know if John was around in 2014.
I was not.
Yeah. So
not.
this is when they figured, okay, we don't need Bill Lippis. We don't need I forget
Lippi-Low.
Like we don't need any
Dean?
of those.
How about remember Dean?
We don't need Dean.
Yeah, I remember
and
Dean.
then we don't need Gooch. We don't need those guys.
Yeah.
Let's teach the producers. Let's teach Marty. Let's teach me. Let's teach whoever else there was there at the time.
Yeah.
How to engineer ourselves, and let's just get a minimum wage, straight in college board op to just run the board back. That's way cheaper than getting an engineer. So that's what I did. That was one of my first engineering stuff.
Right. So it's 2014. We're On the Border for like a Thursday night football hangout session.
Yep.
Right. And what we would do is it would be me, Billy Ray, Linda, and Alex. Alex would do the engineering. Me, Billy Ray, and Linda would all be there. We'd order up a bunch of food. Linda and I would share something. We'd get something, we'd share it out.
Brisket tacos.
Right. And then listeners would come and hang out with us on the patio there. And then the football game would go on. We'd all hang out and have a good time. So how did you wind up meeting Mar there?
She was the hostess. She was 21. She was still in school. So she was working there. And I walked in and she was like, hey. And I was like, hey, I showed up with like, what, remember we had those like bomb looking suitcases?
Yeah.
Not like bomb as cool. Like they literally look like bombs.
Like you were carrying bombs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like where every time we traveled to the Super Bowl, they never made it because they went through second inspection.
I still have those big ass bomb boxes in my garage.
Yeah. So she was just like, hey. And I'm like, hey. And she was there every Thursday. And we hit it off, but I never asked her out because I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna ask her out." She says no, and then I gotta show up like a putz here every Thursday, and she's right there. And when we were done, like almost done, or she told me she wasn't gonna work Thursdays anymore. I shot my shot, and she was like, "Cool, I see an opening. If she says no, she ain't gonna be here no more. I don't care." So She said, yeah, and that's it. And then she, as soon as we went out, she never worked a Thursday ever again. In fact, I think she quit. I think she was waiting for me. So that's how we met.
Wow.
Believe it or not.
2014.
Put that pressure on you. She's like, I ain't working Thursdays no more. What you gonna do?
Yeah, what you gonna do about that? Yeah.
Yeah. Does the radio show get credit for this union?
She'll never listen to this. So at the moment, it's getting credit during my vows.
Really?
I've incorporated it somehow.
Nice.
With
Get
the story
outta
I
here.
just told. Yeah.
Get out of here.
At the moment, I haven't finalized vows, but I think I did it. I think I'm pretty much there.
Oh my God. I can't believe you just said that. And I know that I'm getting older and I've got menopause and I get emotional very quickly.
Oh, boy.
But you just said that like that. It was just kind of a goofy question. Does the radio show get credit for you getting married? Because we've only got one other marriage. You know, we've got Gary from Ego Trip and his wife, Amy. They met at an old school Scott and BR tailgate party at Qualcomm Stadium. This is when we used to tailgate every Sunday for Charger games. And those guys have probably been married for, I don't know, 10 or 12 years. And so this would be really the second marriage that we sort of get credit for. And just you telling me that you incorporated it into your vows just got me like a little, as my mother would say, verklempt.
You little emo? Yeah. Right now it's in there. So
it might get edited out. It might not make it. It might be on the cutting room floor.
Well, I don't want to do a spoiler alert for anybody, but we have already read what our minister is going to say, just to like make sure there's no like funky stuff in there. Because I've been to some weddings where friends marry their friends, and it's just like there's been some cringy lines, and Mar got really paranoid about that stuff, and she's like, I just don't want like some cringe like lines. So we read it. We didn't edit any of it. He did great. He mentions the genesis of our relationship too. So that's why that's the only reason why I'm like, is it going to be overkill if I also mention it? So
yeah.
All right. Yeah.
You hear this, Browner? We got a wedding on Sunday. We're going to go to. Our boy's going to get married. I mean, are you going to cry? I'm probably going to cry.
No, I'm not going to. What am I crying for?
Because here's why. Here's why you might cry. Here's why. Because you've been married. You've been divorced. You've dealt with the life after divorce, which is never easy.
I don't know if he's ever disclosed that he's been married. That's just
thanks.
Yeah, I don't think that.
Way to go.
Yeah.
Come on, that's nonsense. You've talked about being divorced.
Way to go.
You've talked about being divorced.
I've never said that on the show.
Get out of here. You have so.
Okay.
He said baby mama drama.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Baby mama drama. Okay,
Yeah.
whatever. I mean, I'm gonna cry. Brown,
Are you guys a front row or back row type of guests?
I see myself as more in the back row, but
I'm gonna have to be in the back row because it's Sunday.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be checking the scores.
Oh, okay. Browner, just be prepared. At one point, if I start getting, if I start crying, I start whimpering.
Video you.
Well, no, just be prepared. I might like grab your hand, like hold me.
No, don't do it. Grab Rachel's hand. Don't grab my hand, fool.
Well, I might grab her hand and your hand.
Don't grab my hand.
I might be in the middle.
It might be a menage of holding hands.
Don't hold my hand. I ain't gonna help you.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna help you.
I'm a back row guy too for any wedding. I don't want to.
I like Browner's idea. Browner's, it's Sunday. I got to check scores.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who the Bears play that day?
Miami. It's the Tua Fields matchup.
Oh, yeah. Let's go Tua. My boy Tua. Yeah.
Listen, y'all ain't been watching Justin Fields last couple of weeks, baby. We had no more passer rating on Sunday.
I know he played well the last couple of weeks.
We made a trade.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome. If the Vikings showed the Bears how to make Fields look average.
What do you mean?
Because he was awful until he played the Vikings, and then now he's been like fantasy-wise, he's been actually really good fantasy.
That's actually true. He was not very good today. He played the Vikings, and all of a sudden it was like, hey, wait, this looks like last year.
Instead of like trying to pass the ball with Fields, why don't we just like run the ball with Justin? Yeah,
that's right. They did almost beat the Vikings.
Hey, speaking of fantasy football, I was actually thinking about this yesterday. Is anybody paying attention to the fantasy football league that we put together? Because I don't have the attention span for it. So I didn't. Yeah, you knew. I mean, there was no chance I was going to actually make it through the season. Is anybody paying attention to our fantasy football league or not?
I've actually been supremely embarrassed at my performance so far this year.
Yeah, what was that?
My team just got riddled with injuries to start. I started 0-6, and I have been dominating the waiver wire. I have like just absolutely crushed the waiver wire. So now, not only am I now 2-6, but last week I think I dropped like 200 points on some knucklehead.
Really?
Yeah.
You dunk on a fool
I
in
dunked.
fantasy football?
I dunked on a fool. No big deal.
Mm-hmm. How you doing, Browner? How's your fantasy team doing?
I'm checking it right now.
For the first
Yeah,
time.
Steve, you don't know because you're not paying attention either.
No,
My
I
attention
won.
span.
I'm 3-5.
That's terrible.
It's not
Whoever
good.
Adrian is,
Mm-hmm.
I played last week. He looks like one of you guys because he left his team on buys.
Anybody know how my team's doing, or anybody know the name of my team?
No.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither.
What's your team name?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm in last place right now, which is pretty embarrassing. But
That is.
like I said, I've just got the most points scored against me by like it's not even close. Like people have been having their absolute best game against me. So
Yeah, they've been having their way with you, huh?
yeah, it's been embarrassing.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, hey, listen, we got the wedding coming up this weekend. I'm really excited about it, and I think that a lot of you, great friends out there and chatlins, those of you that are every day with us in the YouTube chat, who've been saying, "Hey, Alex, I want to give you a gift. Where are you registered?" And then you find out dude ain't registered. Why is he not registered? Because he lives in a 1-bedroom condo with his fiance, and he don't want crock pots or
Yeah.
he don't want rice makers.
Yeah.
Dude don't have no room for any of this
Mhm.
kind of stuff. So at his wedding, as he was telling me yesterday, small gift table made specifically for envelopes filled with cash. Now, some of you have said, well, wait a second. You went on a bachelor party. You had a QR code. People could actually click the QR code and send money to buy drinks for the groom. But
Mhm.
yet for the wedding itself, there is no QR code. There is no Venmo code on the show. There is no, solicitation of gifts
Yeah.
from you to the great friends. So as I told everybody yesterday, when we get to the end of the year, we're going to take all of the merch sales on kaplanandcrew.com, all the t-shirts, the hoodies, the coffee mugs, the hats, all that stuff. We're going to take it at the end of the year and we're literally going to divide whatever we make. And we make about like, I don't know, $5 per shirt that's sold. If a shirt is sold for $23, we make like $5 because it's not us doing it. It's another party. They print it, they ship it, blah, blah, blah. You don't care about this. But at the end of the year, it gets divided between Grande over here, who's going to need it for his new life with his new wife, and Browner over here for a bunch of things that he won't talk about on the air. But
Legal defense fund.
the John Browner Legal Defense Fund. That's right.
Yeah.
And Alex, yesterday I got an email from Tito who said, "Hey, I haven't seen you guys put out the new hoodie that I suggested." This was the day of the Padres-Dodgers game on Saturday night. We were down at Union Kitchen and Tap in downtown San Diego. And Tito, longtime listener, said, "I want you guys to make a hoodie that has Browner's face and the phrase, 'A wise man once said.'" And you and I could not remember what phrase we were looking for the new Browner hoodie.
Correct.
But Brown, that one is bomb. And the other one that I still want to make is the Slay Queen t-shirts in pink or white with pink writing. So if we can continue to produce great merch and we can continue to sell fun merch, that's just more money that becomes bonus at the end of the year for these two guys who've been busting their ass for you all year long. How about that?
How about that?
Pretty good.
I'm
huh?
also not hard to find on Venmo. Like if you
Oh,
really,
really?
if you really wanted to.
Oh, really?
I mean, no one's really that hard to find on Venmo. I don't have
So,
some
man,
dude-
you softening up as we get closer.
don't
Just
have
go
some
ahead and put
right.
that QR code out there.
No, I'm
dog.
not doing it. I'm not doing it.
You're softening
Right.
up.
Because
Right, you'll have-
Scott brought up the whole Venmo thing, and I was like, oh yeah, we did do that. That was dope though, dude. We got a lot of money, and I lost it all at the casino. I
So
lost
you
it all.
used other people's money to gamble.
Yes, and I
Nice.
did not win. Thank you.
Mm.
I
Yeah,
walked
thanks
in.
for letting me
I
play.
walked into the Aria dog, and I was like, "Let's go to roulette. I got this. Let's go. 100 on black. We're about to have a great weekend. Boom, 100 on black. Spin that thing. Red. All right, let's go. We're gonna have a great weekend, anyways. Did it?
We're gonna get more people to send us drink money.
Did it 2 more times. Lost $300 like that every single time. But we did end up buying. Vegas is Vegas. I think $300 is like for 12 guys. That's about one round. So thanks everybody.
Yeah.
It's not a
Well,
lot.
I'll just say this. If you love table games, the place you ought to go is 7 Mile Casino. 7milecasino.com is the website. You got blackjack and poker and table games on one side of the casino. You got Sammy's Restaurant and Bar on the other side of the casino. And it's only 7 minutes south of downtown San Diego. So by far and away, the best location of any place you can go to play cards. and in a completely smoke-free environment. That's 7 Mile Casino and 7milecasino.com. All right, we do have an abbreviated broadcast today because yet again, we're going to air Game 4 of the World Series. The Phillies have taken a 2-1 lead over the Astros, hit a bunch of bombs last night. We'll get to that story coming up. Bunch of trades in the NFL. We'll get to that story coming up. Still more news from the Brooklyn Nets and changing their coach and keeping Kyrie from the media and trying to hire the former Boston Celtics coach. And Browner, believe it or not, last night I was watching your Bulls against the Nets on TNT. Yeah.
Ooh, listen, that was fun.
I bet it was. If you're a Bulls fan, that was a really good game.
I'm a Nets fan too, but hey. Time to start trading pieces.
We got a lot to get to, and we have a very, very short amount of time. So what I'm going to say to everybody who's listening on radio is this. If you need more than what we can give you on radio, because we're going to hand off to the World Series at the top of the hour, make sure you come to our YouTube channel, because when we get off the radio, we still got more going on over here on YouTube. We're just getting rolling. Short broadcast, World Series coming up. This is Kaplan and Crew from the 7 Mile Casino Studio.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Dominating the SoCal radio airwaves for over 20 years. Join Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner for Kaplan and Crew every Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. only on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the mightier1090.com.
From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on Your Health. Join Erica Cardenas as she introduces you to health experts and discover how our daily choices affect our well-being. Plus, learn simple tips for healthier living. Your Health, Sunday at 4:30 p.m. on YourView and YourView.com. Your Health is brought to you by Clever Care Health Plan, your partners for comprehensive care.
I thought I was okay. I had a degree, I had work experience. I should be able to provide for my kids. But they're just things that you don't plan on in life.
My husband got laid off and we are a family of 5.
My mom was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. I would ask the doctors, what can I do? And they would just say, just make sure she's eating. Our lives just changed completely. Thank God that we always had a plate of food.
When your air conditioner needs to be tuned up, repaired, or replaced, call Bill Howe, the name you have trusted for over 40 years. We carry the most reliable, energy-efficient brands that will fit your budget. Whether you are looking for a traditional or ductless air conditioning system, you know who to call.
Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE. Bill Howe, because we know how.
Do the ups and downs of the financial markets have you on a roller coaster? Don't let the market take you and your investments for a ride. Stabilize your funds with SDCCU's Great Rate Savings, Money Market, or Certificate accounts. Choose a savings option that meets your needs and watch your money grow with SDCCU. Earn 1.5% APY on a 12-month certificate or 2.5% APY on a 36-month certificate. Open an account at sdccu.com/now. SDCCU, it's not big bank banking, it's better.
Change the way you look and feel with San Diego's most comprehensive varicose and spider vein treatment facility. San Diego Varicose Vein Treatment Center offers minimally invasive, pain-free procedures performed by board-certified cardiologist Dr. Tahizadeh. With over 17 years of experience, we specialize in the diagnosis of varicose veins, spider veins on the face, hands, and legs, ankle discoloration, leg swelling, and more. Improve your vein health today. Visit consultation.sdveintreatment.com or call 619-582-2404.
Welcome back. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, John Browner, and Alex Padilla.
Hey, great friends. What's happening? This is Kaplan and Crew from the 7 Mile Casino Studios with Grande and the Brown Man. To all of our radio listeners on 1090, glad you guys are here. To all of our YouTube viewers, make sure you're getting involved in our YouTube chat. The chatlins, man, I'm telling you, it's been a lot of fun inside the YouTube chat. And just like Alex just put on the screen, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And just by the way, speaking of YouTube, when we get off the radio this afternoon at 4 o'clock-ish, because we're going to hand off to the World Series and ESPN Radio's presentation of it, come over to our YouTube channel because we got a lot more that we do after the radio portion, and we curse a lot when we're not on radio. So make sure you're sticking around for that. Okay, listen, lots that we want to get to. And I'll start off with this, fellas. You guys see the story earlier this morning that Daniel Snyder and his wife, the owner of the Washington Commanders, have now started to work with Bank of America to talk about the possibility of selling their ownership of the team. Did you guys catch any of that earlier today?
I did.
A little bit of it. I didn't get the gist of it. I just saw the headline and I was like, what do you need the Bank of America for?
Well, you got to have an investment bank to do deals of this magnitude. But it should be a pretty easy thing to do. And B, it should also be like one of the biggest transactions in sports, at least thus far. I mean, then the next, it's kind of like a free agent quarterback. You know, whoever's the next.
You think it's more than the Broncos?
Well, how much did the Broncos sell for?
$4.65 billion.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
I think it'll.
But the Washington has no stadium.
Yes, but the Broncos, as they sold, they also are talking about a new stadium, which, you know, I mean, when I was younger, Mile High Stadium was fine. And then they moved into what's been called a million different things, the stadium that they're currently playing in, which is great. I've been to many games there. It's a great stadium. But even the new ownership was talking about new stadium. So, yes, the Washington Commanders have a stadium issue. But who in the NFL, other than like the Rams and the Cowboys, doesn't think they have a stadium issue? I mean, Tennessee has pretty much a brand new stadium. Well, but
the Vikings.
Yeah, but the Packers, well, hold on. The Packers refurbished completely Lambeau Field. The Vikings have a brand new stadium. So, I mean, look, all I'm saying is this. The question was, will the Commanders sell for more than the Broncos? My answer is I think they will.
I think this will get to $5 billion.
Yeah, $5 billion.
Yeah, I think it'll get to $5 billion. Easy.
If I'm the NFL, that's what I want.
Oh, wow.
What is the wow?
So Forbes, obviously they do their valuations of NFL teams every like August. This year, the Commanders were ranked 6th most valued franchise.
Yeah.
At $5.6 billion.
Yeah.
Oh, so it'll go for 6.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it will. What did they have the Broncos at, just to put that into perspective?
Well, the Broncos is like, they adjusted it to exactly 4.65 billion because the list came out after they sold already. So they were at number 12, 4.65 billion.
Do you happen, can you figure out what the Forbes list said a year before for the Broncos? Because that would probably give us a better idea. But here's the thing. Washington is one of those franchises, and you try and figure out why it is that they're worth as much as they are. And, you know, you think about the biggest markets in the country, New York, LA, Dallas, Houston, San Francisco, Chicago, Philadelphia. You know, Washington, D.C. is not in that top 5-ish, but they're probably in that top 10-ish, and they draw from many different places besides just D.C. and Virginia. And so for whatever reason, the Washington Commanders, they've always been one of the top valued organizations.
The last year, the Broncos, before they sold, were valued at $3.75 billion, 10th in the league.
Okay,
and they
so
sold
they were
for a little under $1 billion more.
right. So the Broncos were valued at 3.7. They sold for 4.6. If the Commanders are valued at 4 point, what did you say? Or
Excuse me.
5.6?
I just lost it. There
Either
it
way.
is. 5.6 billion.
Yeah,
right now.
5.6. They're a potentially $6 billion franchise. A football organization is a $6 billion business.
Also, really interesting.
Money's not real, man.
That they're trying to spin it as like, oh, he's just exploring all his options. It could be selling a minority stake. If you have that kind of money to buy it into an NFL franchise, who's going to buy in with Dan Snyder right now?
Nobody.
No one.
No one with that much money is that stupid. Maybe Elon Musk, but still, like that is all. Like there is nobody out there that would be like, yeah, I want to partner with Dan Snyder right now.
Right. Could you imagine Jeff Bezos, who's been, people have talked about Bezos because now that Amazon is in the football broadcasting, or I should call it streaming business. And a lot of times during these Thursday night games, you might see that Bezos is at the game. You've even seen like Goodell sitting with Bezos. Can you imagine Jeff Bezos? The commissioner calls him and goes, "Hey, Jeff, Commanders available and great market." And doesn't Bezos, as I understand, doesn't Bezos own the Washington Post newspaper?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you're Jeff Bezos and you want to buy an NFL football team because you want to be in the NFL business because you're already in the business of streaming with the NFL, and you own the newspaper in Washington, the paper of record, right? The Commanders are the organization that maybe makes the most sense for Jeff Bezos. Could you imagine Goodell calling Bezos and going, "Now listen, it's going to take $6 billion. I know that the money's not really the issue, but Snyder wants to have like 35% of the franchise." Jeff Bezos would be like, "Dude, I don't want anything to do with Dan Snyder.
No,
Dan Snyder is
zero.
toxic. Dan Snyder is cancellation. Okay. I don't want anything to do with him, the way he ran the franchise, the accusations, the realities, the federal investigations. I want nothing to do with Daniel Snyder or his wife. I'll buy the whole thing for $6 billion and kick him out."
Bezos probably going, "I'll give you 7. I'll raise the value of every other NFL franchise if I overpay that much." And he's now blacklisted, Dan Snyder. He will never be mentioned here ever again. He's not going to get a suite. He's not going to get season tickets. He's not going to get anything. He's gone because he's that toxic. And once he sells this team, more and more stuff will come out about Dan Snyder. He's being protected right now.
Right. Once he's out of their hair, the floodgates will open because now he has no leverage inside the actual organization to threaten people. Like at this point, they can then just brush him to the side regardless of what he says because the news cycle is controlled by the NFL and the sports world. So where are you going to take a story?
Can I
CNN?
also throw a counterpoint to the Bezos? Because Bezos just popped up in Carolina and Denver. Okay, so if you're an NFL owner and you got Dan Snyder and he sucks, he's never going to get you a winning product. He's kind of cheap. And attention goes to him. Do you really want a powerful dude like Bezos to come in and disrupt what you got? If you're Jerry Jones and Stan Kroenke and Robert Kraft, like the three-headed monster of who maybe runs this league, do you really want to have a dude like Bezos come in with an infinite pool of money to have that much power? Or do you just want another kind of nameless group just bought in Denver that'll just go with the ride?
That's not a nameless group. Oh, wait now. That's not a nameless group that just bought Denver. That's the Walmart. That's Walmart who just bought Denver. They're not nameless at all. They're just new.
Or is it
Well, Kroenke's married to Walmart, and it was, I don't remember which Walton brother bought the Broncos, or at least leads the group that now owns the Broncos. But it is one of the Waltons, and they are the Walmart people.
Right.
But if you're a billionaire, what I'm saying is it's not like a nameless. Everyone's going to have some sort of name if you got that much money to buy. What I'm saying is influence, power, the want to win. I think the NFL owners like having guys like Snyder and Spanos around because they're not going to be very competitive. They're still going to bring you in money.
Well, the other part of your question is, would other NFL owners want Bezos? Now that Bezos and Amazon are being paid by the league $1 billion for streaming rights, and let me rephrase it, the way Amazon buys the rights from the league, the question would be, is it a conflict in any way that we're in business with you over here, but now you're one of us And now when we have to negotiate the rights deal between Amazon and the NFL, you own a team and you own Amazon and the streaming and all this other stuff and all of our money. I mean, is it too
there's definitely
complicated?
conflict of interest there too, because then Bezos is going to tell their Amazon employees like, "Hey, you're going to talk about us a lot. You're going to you use it as a platform." There's no way around it.
Isn't that every business? I think the only issue with this is he would have to find a way of creating a third party that negotiates the payment for the rights that he has nothing to do with. Because other than that, you cannot have a team owner negotiating the price of television rights. That doesn't make any sense. So I don't think Jeff Bezos will buy I think he's going to buy the Chargers when they become available. I don't think he's going to buy the not Redskins.
Well, but again, I'm just putting
too much around it.
2 and 2 together. You own the newspaper in town.
Mm-hmm.
The team is now available.
Mm-hmm.
You can promote the team through the paper if it's still a big thing. And you've got this rights deal with the NFL. I mean, I don't know. It just seems to make a lot of sense to throw Bezos' name right into it. All right, listen, we have a short show today because we are going into the World Series. We are in the 7 Mile Casino studios, 7milecasino.com. Guys, I'll ask you, as I'm going to ask you probably every day, did you watch the World Series game last night?
Yep. I did my Bryce Harper at bat, and I was right on time.
I watched that home run. I haven't seen the one against the Padres yet, but dude, this team, dude, like the Padres just ran into a buzzsaw, man. Like
they got some energy about them.
Listen, I don't know anything about no tipping pitches. The Phillies been doing this all playoffs.
Right.
It's funny that like for whatever reason this guy's getting like, oh, they're tipping pitches. It's like the Musgrove cheated thing. It's the storyline of the game. Phillies been doing this to everybody. Literally, the Phillies have been doing this to everybody.
Yeah, but the whole idea of tipping pitches, I'm not even sure I really understand what this all means. Like when the Astros were cheating and they were signaling and they were stealing signs, okay, fine. Like I can figure that part of it out. Mm-hmm. Tipping pitches, when you see Bryce Harper,
very baseball-y, very nerdy, very
Browner,
beep bop.
You got the glasses, Browner, because it's about to be a nerd alert around here.
I gotta wait till the numbers come out.
I just watched like the Pedro Martinez breakdown, and this man saying like a slider, his glove came up here, a curveball, the glove came right here, a fastball just came right here. You're just like, so someone that's in like trying to figure out what is happening in the box
mm-hmm.
can decipher here. If you're listening, I'm literally going forehead, nose, chin as to where the glove goes to, and that's going to tell me what's coming. That's how intricate baseball players are now.
Okay, but the answer is yes.
Yeah, yes. But they can spot a ball coming 95 miles an hour, high, low, middle in, outside. Yeah, yes.
Well, listen, in football, okay, when you study film all week and you're an offensive coordinator and you're game planning against a defense, and you see that when a linebacker lines up in this way, or he twists his body before the snap in a certain way, this is what he's going to do. And that's a tell, And so if you're an observant offensive coordinator, or think about it the other way, you're a defensive coordinator, you're looking at the quarterback, and you notice that every time he lines up with his right foot 6 inches behind his left foot, that means he's always going to do this. You pass that information on to your team. They then see the quarterback line up in this particular stance. And they go, we know exactly what's coming. If you're Bryce Harper and you're a really, really great hitter, a lot of it is because you're reading what the pitcher is doing and you're trying to guess what pitch is coming based on the situation. And if having your glove up at your forehead versus your nose versus your chin tells you what pitch is coming, and the pitcher maybe subconsciously doesn't even realize that he's doing it, I mean, that's not cheating.
Tom Brady once said that he could tell what the defense was going to do by the way that the line put their hand in the ground. Like, what is that? Like,
no, I get it.
Experience.
Like I said, it's very baseball-y, but it's just it's very fascinating to me that, and I'm exaggerating as for how far up and down his glove went. When they showed the examples, you're like, okay, that's like minuscule. If that really is the case, that it's the glove being the pitch or tipping the pitch, that's minuscule. I'm making an example of like it wasn't like that intense. But the thing is, like a pre-snap read, if you got your right foot back, that means he's going to drop back. If you got your left foot back, that means you're going to run. That's a pre-snap read. That he's not moving. This is a dude going at 1.1 second delivery. Like,
you're taking a guess. You're just taking a guess.
I just think that me personally, and I guess, listen, McCullers, I read something. He had given up 0 home runs on off-speed pitches. all season long. And every home run he gave up yesterday, or at least 4 of the 5, were on off-speed pitches. So is that really – so now for 650 off-speed strikeouts that he got or outs that he got during the season, now all of a sudden he's tipping?
Listen, let me ask you a quick question.
I'm just going to give Phillies credit that they just been doing this to everybody.
Right. That's what I was getting at. Are we going to now start to accuse Philadelphia of what Houston was once accused of? Is that the deal now?
No,
they hit a bunch of home runs off Houston, and so now all of a sudden they must be cheating too.
The irony of it all is that it's against Houston, that they know what's coming. The story is that the Phillies knew what was coming, not because they were cheating, just because they figured it out.
If the Phillies didn't hit home runs like that in that park against the Padres, if they didn't do it against the Braves, like they did this against everybody, the difference is there is sound coming from what the Houston Astros were doing, the banging of trash. Like this has been studied and proven. It just looks like the Phillies are playing better than everybody. Like they won games in Houston hitting home runs. Like it wasn't 1-0.
And it's the same dudes.
Yeah,
it's the same guys. They just caught
Bryce
fire
Harper.
at the right time.
Bryce Harper has been hot hitting home runs all postseason.
He's
Kyle
batting
Schwarber
392.
has been hot hitting home runs all season. Reese Hoskins looked like, I said it, like Mark McGwire against the Padres. He's the same dudes hitting home runs. This isn't like, it's Segura all of a sudden hitting a home run. It's the same guys.
But remember when there were about 25 games left in the regular season, and we were looking at the Padres, the Brewers, and the Phillies, and we were saying at the time, the Padres' final 9 games of the season are home, the Brewers' final 9 games of the season are home, and the Phillies' final 9 games of the regular season are on the road. It's going to be really hard for the Phillies to work their way into the playoffs. They've played playoff baseball for the last month of the season, and at one point kind of fell flat and then regrouped, made it into the postseason, and then did a lot of what we talked about with the Padres. Padres beat the Mets and the Dodgers, which nobody gave much chance to do. And the Phillies, as the 6th seed, beat St. Louis, then beat Atlanta, which most people thought was the best team in all of baseball anyway, and then beat the red hot Padres at the time. They've just been on fire at the right time of the year, and they've got one guy in Bryce Harper who is the leader of it all, and he got a whole bunch of other dudes that can bang home runs. So, I mean, this whole notion of stealing signs or to me, you can be a really observant hitter and share that with that information with your teammates, and that doesn't make you a cheater in any way.
No, I don't think anybody's saying cheating. And if at least I haven't heard it. I haven't heard the cheating thing. But it's crazy, man, because like when you think about a team that goes on a run, you see it in the NFL, you see it in the NBA, a team that gets hot at the right time. The Phillies never got hot. They had a losing record in September. And I think they went 500 in October. But for whatever reason, when they got to the postseason, their bats just lit up. Like that's it. Their pitchers, except yesterday, Ranger Suarez has been really good for them in the postseason. Game 1 and 2, Wheeler got hit. Nola got hit. It's just their bats don't give up.
Yeah. I just hope that these guys win tonight.
Browner,
and
they
got a chance to win it in Philadelphia, because as much as Petco Park went nuts, that park in Philly and those fans, they've gone completely out of their minds.
Browner, I know right now in Houston, there is someone, if not every radio host, saying, you got to stop pitching to Bryce Harper. I don't care if there's a guy on first base. You got to stop pitching to that guy.
What more evidence do y'all need, man?
Problem is that right now you can't pitch to Schwarber or Hoskins. So it's like,
listen, if Schwarber and Hoskins beat me, I'm going to tip my hat. But this guy who's been great since he's 15 years old, you ain't going to beat him. You're going to have to steal bases all the way to home, brother. I ain't throwing you no more pitches.
What's funny about this whole tipping of thing, if it does go 7, if it does go game 7, McCullers is the pitcher for the Astros. That'll be really interesting. I don't think it's going 7. I genuinely think the Phillies are going to they might go back to Houston for game 6, but
or they might just do what they did to the Padres, which
don't even give it a chance.
Right.
Right.
So, hey, listen, last thing before, again, radio listeners, 1090 listeners, we're going to have a short broadcast because we're going right into the World Series. But for everybody that's watching on YouTube or listening on audio podcast, we'll have a separate finish over here where we kind of get a lot more raw, and we'll spend a few minutes talking about a few other things. But last thing, though, guys, I can't help but love what's happening to the Brooklyn Nets. To have Kyrie Irving making such a disaster of this team again, to fire Steve Nash, that I know we talked about quite a bit yesterday, how Steve Nash must be on a beach somewhere today, thanking God that he is no longer the coach of this disaster. But to now be talking about hiring the disgraced Boston Celtics coach, the Nets are like the Chargers. All this hype and terrible ownership, always making terrible decisions. And no matter how great their roster looks, even no matter if they've got some of the best players in the league, they're a disaster. Hiring this Boston Celtics coach, I don't care how good of a coach anybody thinks he is. Bottom line is, you've already got enough drama in your locker room, in your organization. Why would you bring more your way?
How much are they paying for baggage on this flight? Because they got a lot. They
got
a
a
lot.
separate plane for the bags.
Bro, they got so much. If they bring Udoka in here, all right.
See, here's the.
They're lucky they're not the Knicks, because I think they have a very Chargery Clipper thing. No one really cares in New York about that.
Here's the problem with what Ime Udoka did. A lot of people around the NBA see this as just inside business that got out. So a lot of people within the NBA don't necessarily see what he did as a bad thing. It just got out.
Well, but I mean, listen, if the Celtics organizationally have these rules in place that, you can't be sleeping around inside the organization.
Come on, man. That's at every job.
No, I got it. Well, that's right. But it's bad for business if that happens.
Mm-hmm.
And then they suspend him, and they suspend him for the year. And they're just going to allow this guy who led them to the finals last year to just walk to another division team, a rival inside the division, for no compensation of any kind. It's like the Celtics. I don't know why the Celtics just didn't fire him, other than they didn't want to pay him.
Exactly.
And they were hoping that this would happen. Like,
and
we'll
this is
suspend you.
Exactly.
All right, everybody on radio, we got to go. Here comes the World Series. Everybody who's watching and listening in other platforms, separate finish for you guys. We're back tomorrow. Peace out, radio listeners.
Many are adding companion units, or ADUs, to bring more value to their homes. Our experience, plus our strong relationship with the city, makes adding on easier for our homeowners.
We listen to you first, then design and build. Visit murraylambert.com for your consultation.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Rome comes home. Yes, I said it. You can now catch the Jim Rome Show Monday through Friday, noon until 3 p.m. on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. Back to San Diego, where it all started, on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
Drivers are getting in accidents at a rate we've never seen before, jumping 18% since 2020. There are higher incidents of speeding and more aggressive driving since the pandemic began. Please slow down and drive safely. It can save a life.
Murray Lampert's design process is very collaborative. We love the process, and what's best about the process is the way that it can flex as needed. So if there's a new piece of technology that's available that's really going to help us out, make a more accurate model, we're going to utilize that. We'll send the measure-off team to the house, and they will end up scanning the house using drones, LiDAR scanning, lasers, and tape measures to measure every square inch of the home. Then they'll take that information back to the office and build a 3D model of the home. We'll be upfront and honest if they're asking for things that may be out of their budget. We're going to let them know up front. We're always motivated to strive for excellence. There's kind of not another way to be. We do the best work we can and ultimately make the homeowners happy. What makes me proud is when we present that 3D model to the homeowners and we wow them. Sometimes we even bring tears to their eyes because they love the design so much. That brings me a lot of joy.
From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on Your Health. Join Erica Cardenas as she introduces you to health experts and discover how our daily choices affect our well-being. Plus, learn simple tips for healthier living. Your Health, Sunday at 4:30 p.m. on Your View and yourview.com. Your Health is brought to you by Clever Care Health Plan, your partners for comprehensive care.
I feel like I have the fun part of the job where I get to help out and make my clients' houses look beautiful. We start with looking at the floor plan, space planning, and then we look at countertops, tile, backsplashes, flooring, cabinets, everything like that. We have a lot of client meetings start in our conference room. Sometimes we have some clients that have already selected certain items that they want to incorporate into their project. We want to make sure they're happy with it because they're going to be living with it for a very long time. Sometimes we'll do something that, goes totally with the style, and then we'll have a total outlier option for the client. And a lot of the times they end up going with that because they want to see something totally different. We want to make sure that we're focusing in on our clients. I really want to make sure at the end of the day the clients are happy, that I'm keeping up with my communication with them, and that we know that at the end of the day as well, and moving through the process of construction and everything, that we're going to have a successful project.
At the Barnes firm, we're seeing more pedestrian and bicycle accidents. Drivers are rolling through red lights, and distracted driving makes every intersection a danger zone for pedestrians. Look both ways when crossing, even if you have the right of way.
Listen to The Mike Greenberg Show, 7 to 9 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday. Greeny brings his unmatched depth of sports knowledge, fun, and entertainment back to ESPN on a daily basis. The Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and themightier1090.com.
Hola, I'm JR Cardenas.
And I'm Vanessa Ramirez.
We're the hosts for Su Vida, where we showcase California restaurants, music,
art, culture, and so much more.
We would love to talk to you about featuring your business on our show.
Yes, and as an added bonus, you get to keep the professional video segment to repurpose and use on your website or social media channels.
Please click on the link below to get more information about how to put your business on Su Vida.
We hope to hear from you soon.
Great things can be achieved when a community comes together. Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community. Watch Doing More Sunday night at 6 on YourView or stream it online at yourview.com. Brought to you by Procopio, San Diego's largest law firm, committed to community, representing San Diegans for more than 75 years. You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the Mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and YourView, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Many are adding companion units or ADUs to bring more value to their homes. Our experience, plus our strong relationship with the city, makes adding on easier for our homeowners.
We listen to you first, then design and build. Visit murraylampert.com for your consultation.
Absolutely. The best part of the day is working with the team and working directly with customers. Just because it's fun and I enjoy collaborating. I enjoy watching the customers' reactions when the designers come up with their spaces. And we really take pride in the team effort and what we accomplish in the end.
I can tell that the team we have, accountability is very important. They feel like the work that we do is not just a reflection of themselves, but a reflection of us.
We've always been a design build company, but now we've taken design, not only architectural, but interior design to a completely different level.
The philosophy of integrity here at Murray Lampert is always doing the right thing, even when someone isn't looking. In turn, the homeowners get a really great product.
We're truly a team at Murray Lampert Design, Build, Remodel, and we don't take that lightly.
Murray Lampert's design process is very collaborative. We love the process, and what's best about the process is the way that it can flex as needed. So if there's a new piece of technology that's available that's really going to help us out make a more accurate model, we're going to utilize that. We'll send the measure-off team to the house, and they will end up scanning the house using drones, LiDAR scanning, lasers, and tape measures to measure every square inch of the home. Then they'll take that information back to the office and build a 3D model of the home. We'll be upfront and honest if they're asking for things that may be out of their budget. We're going to let them know up front. We're always motivated to strive for excellence. There's kind of not another way to be. We do the best work we can and ultimately make the homeowners happy. What makes me proud is when we present that 3D model to the homeowners and we wow them. Sometimes we even bring tears to their eyes because they love the design so much. That brings me a lot of joy.
I feel like I have the fun part of the job where I get to help out and make my clients' houses look beautiful. We start with looking at the floor plans, space planning, and then we look at countertops, tile, backsplashes, flooring, cabinets, everything like that. We have a lot of client meetings start in our conference room. Sometimes we have some clients that have already selected certain items that they want to incorporate into their project. We want to make sure they're happy with it because they're going to be living with it for a very long time. Sometimes we'll do something that goes totally with the style, and then we'll have a total outlier option for the client. And a lot of the times they end up going with that because they want to see something totally different. We want to make sure that we're focusing in on our clients. I really want to make sure at the end of the day that clients are happy, that I'm keeping up with my communication with them, and that we know that at the end of the day as well, and moving through the process of construction and everything, that we're going to have a successful project.
Joining me now is Paco Franco, Medicare Benefits Consultant with Clever Care. Thank you so much for joining us, Paco.
Thank you so much, Erica. I really appreciate it.
First off, we hear that Clever Care is a health plan customized for growing diverse populations. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the most distinct differences of Clever Care is that we combine the principles of Eastern and Western medicine to our approach of healthcare. We believe in the complete well-being of our members and believe that wellness should be affordable. Anybody who's eligible for Medicare can join Clever Care Medicare Advantage HMO plan. We also have another enrollment period coming up called the annual enrollment period. This is the most popular one, which takes place from October 15th to December 7th. And during this time, you can sign up for a new plan, you can switch plans, you can leave a plan, or simply just return to your original Medicare.
Surf Soccer has been around for over 30 years. We're based here in San Diego, but we are the premier national youth sports brand in soccer. Our mission is to create experiences and opportunities for kids, and we do that here mostly in San Diego with our 1,000 kids, but we also do it through our events where we really help kids chase their dreams.
PNC Bank sponsorship helps the kids here. One, it is to continue to help fund facilities like this where the kids can come play soccer. Two, it is really through our scholarship program. There are a lot of kids in San Diego that have incredible levels of talent, but they can't afford to play on a team like Surf. And so a lot of our sponsorship dollars go back into scholarships to give an opportunity for kids who are low to moderate income to play on one of the elite teams in the U.S.
Having a partner like PNC who is community oriented and cares about the development of youth in the community is amazing because our missions are completely aligned and we're both driven by helping develop kids, and in this case through sport in San Diego.
San Diego Varicose Vein Treatment Center, we take care of all various needs of patients for management of their venous insufficiency. People who come here are mainly concerned about symptoms that brings them on or issues related to cosmetic concern that we can always take care of. Now with the advancement of technology and so many catheter-based treatments, we can treat our patients much more quickly, much more comfortably with less downtime. Patients love the result invariably.
It's been a huge impact in my life to feel better, to be able to power walk again. Overall, I'm just feeling like I used to feel when I was a lot younger, and I'm so grateful for this place.
It's a privilege to take care of our patients. It comes from the heart, and I love it.
The NFL lives here. If it's about the NFL, you found the right station. Join 1090 every Sunday during the NFL season for the exclusive SoCal home of not one, but two NFL games every Sunday during the season on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Many are adding companion units or ADUs to bring more value to their homes. Our experience, plus our strong relationship with the city, makes adding on easier for our homeowners.
We listen to you first, then design and build. Visit murraylampert.com for your consultation.
Congratulations to the 2022-23 San Diego County Teachers of the Year, Jacqueline Ma, Stephanie Cluxton, Amy McCoy, Juanita Nunez, and Melissa Raines. Congratulations to all the Teachers of the Year. We salute you and everything you do for your students.
Change the way you look and feel with San Diego's most comprehensive varicose and spider vein treatment facility. San Diego Varicose Vein Treatment Center offers minimally invasive, pain-free procedures performed by board-certified cardiologist Dr. Tahizadeh. With over 17 years of experience, we specialize in the diagnosis of varicose veins, spider veins on the face, hands, and legs, ankle discoloration, leg swelling, and more. Improve your vein health today. Visit consultation.sdveintreatment.com or call 619-582-2404.
From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on your health. Join Erica Cardenas as she introduces you to health experts and discover how our daily choices affect our well-being. Plus, learn simple tips for healthier living. Your Health, Sunday at 4:30 p.m. on YourView and YourView.com. Your Health is brought to you by Clever Care Health Plan, your partners for comprehensive care.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.